Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I know that usually it's Dan who's doing an amazing job with this webinar, but he's away. He asked me to substitute for him, and I'll be happy to lead this webinar today. My name is Simon Friedman. Want to welcome everyone. And before we go any further, if you could please confirm that you could hear me by just typing OK into the questions area. So I know that you could hear me okay. Again, just to make sure we are prepared technically, just type OK into the questions window. So I know that you could hear me. Anyone? 1, 2, 1, 2, testing. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Peter. And also just type 3 letters, SEEC, so you could see, just proving or confirming that you could see the presentation as well. Either Michael, thank you, Michael, or Peter, you can just confirm also that you could see by typing SEC. Okay, wonderful. So we're good to go. Again, welcome everyone. I hope we get more people as one by one are coming in. Great, thank you, Peter, very much. Okay, so my name is Simon. I'm substituting for Danny today, and of course, I won't be able to do as good a job as he does. He's amazing at this webinar. I have my own webinars that I do regularly as well, but I'll try to do my best to bring it to the level that will be practical and you will leave with some knowledge, and that's pretty much the agenda. A few things about myself. Simon Friedman, one of the senior account managers here. My overall experience in trading is over 23 years. And now I'm very happy that I have an opportunity to assist our customers with AvaTrade. Okay, before we go any further, the risk warning. What we do here is purely educational, of course. We do not suggest any trades, and you can find a full statement at avatrade.com. Okay, so what we'll do here, pretty much ask questions. I had someone at my webinar yesterday that a nice lady, she had some general questions, so I referred to this is the place where you can ask any questions as far as the trading, as far as technicals, fundamentals, whatever comes to your mind in regards to trading. We do not discuss politics, just trying to be funny here. So that's pretty much what we do. So we ask questions, and these are just an example of some questions. How to use AvaProtect. How can I know when is important event coming? How can I improve my fundamental analysis? What is the best amount to start with? What is the difference between stock and indices? And so on. And of course, I want to share with you our channels. We have Telegram, Twitter, AvaTrade, AvaTrade YouTube channel, which is, in my opinion, I think is a great source for everyone to learn. We have tutorials. We have regularly coming up webinars that are being posted there, recorded and posted. So it's a huge source of information and educational tools. Okay. So I think we are ready for the questions, and I just want everyone to feel relaxed and feel free to ask questions. I will answer them to the best of my ability. I have a few platforms open, so feel free. And also just to mention, sometimes we kind of shy to ask questions even though we have questions. So look at it like a way of sharing. So if you ask the question, maybe somebody else was thinking or about to think about the same topic, and your question will be helping that person to gain the understanding. All right? Okay, we have a nice group of people here. I hope we'll have some nice questions that are going to be practical and useful. Okay, guys, let's go. Who's going to be asking the first question? We are ready. And again, I just want to mention, as I mentioned in my other webinars, I do not fake questions. So, I can pretend that certain questions are coming in and just talk about things that I like to, but I don't do that. I don't think it's ethical and professional. So if you don't, if you want to ask questions, we won't move anywhere. So it would be really nice if people start asking questions, and then we start and continue. We have up to an hour, so I have plenty of time to address a lot of questions. All right, guys. Again, maybe you're not sure how to do it. So Peter and Michael was confirming that they could hear me. There's a window where you type your questions. You don't need to raise the hand for permission or anything. You just type the question there, and then I'll read the question and I'll answer one by one. All right? I hope it's clear. And let's start, guys. I'm sure you have plenty of questions, so let's just break the ice. Looks like I'm begging for questions. All right? Anyone? Any questions? Wow, that's a little weird. We have audience. You confirmed that you could hear me, but I get no questions. Hello. Okay, maybe I'll give you a reminder again. These are the common questions that people ask. So just maybe give you a clue about the questions that you're about to ask. Okay, wonderful. So we have the first question. Thank you, Robert. I'm going to read the question loud to everyone. On the trading platform, where can you see the ongoing charges in the oil and gas markets with an ongoing trade? Okay. All right. Robert, which platform are you talking about? The web trader, or are you talking? Okay, are you talking about the web trader, or are you talking about MetaTrader 4 platform, MetaTrader 5? Please specify. Okay. Meanwhile, I will assume that you were asking about the MetaTrader. So I have a demo account here that I do have an open position. And here, when you see this icon, looks like a briefcase. If you click on that, it shows you open positions. So I have this position open. If you click here on this sign here. All right, wonderful. We have questions coming in. Wonderful, guys. Okay, you scared me for a moment. I was about to close the webinar. Okay, so we have, this is the trade, and if you see, you can close it. So again, you can find it. If you click on the briefcase, you can find your open trades. I have only one. This is demo account, and if you click over here, it gives you all the information on it. So the open price, first of all, it's a sell. It's a short trade that I opened, okay? And the open price was 165.368. Current price is 162.549. The size is 25,000, which is quarter of a lot. And also says the value. And here, to answer your question, all the charges are here, right? There's no commission. We don't charge commission, so you won't see it. But the swaps are being added each day, and some days there's a triple swap, depends on the instrument. I think on the Forex it's on Wednesdays. So as of now, if you could see also open date and time, I opened it on the 7th of September, almost a month ago, and the exact time of opening. And as of now, I've accumulated $69.77. Like my account is US dollars, right? So if I were to close this trade today, this is the swap that will be deducted from my balance. Okay. All right. So this is something that you asked. You see, you mentioned oil and gas. I guess those are the trades that you're holding. So in your case, instead of CHF JPY, we'll be showing oil and gas multiple trades. So you just click on them. Whatever trade is in focus, that's the one. By clicking on this sign here, you will see the full information. Okay? All right. Next question we're going to move to. All right. Thank you, Robert. So I did assume right. So it was a web trader. Okay. Let me know if that was a sufficient answer. Okay. Can you explain how the AvaProtect works? Michael is asking. I'll be happy to. Now, AvaProtect works the following. So let's see how it works in a lifetime. Okay. Or life. So again, this is the demo account. So let's say if I'd like to trade, AvaProtect also works on, not on all the instruments. It works on Forex pairs. You're welcome, Robert. It works on Forex pairs and it works on gold and silver. So just for fun, we can choose gold probably. So I'm going to type gold here. Here we go. So let's say we would like to trade on gold, right? So let's say I would like to buy gold right here. And again, AvaProtect you can only trigger on the web trader or on AvaGo app. Okay, it's not available for MT4, MT5 directly because it's an in-house option and it's really a good one. So let's say I would like to buy gold, right? I don't know, just for an example, I'd like to buy 10 ounces. So you know what, for calculation purposes, you know, let's do 10 because my account allows me to do it. So 10, right? So first I'm setting up the lot. So 0.1, it tells you that you're buying 10 ounces of gold. And this is your margin impact, right? So I'm using about 10% of my margin. That's why I said my account is sufficient. This is your spread. The leverage depends where you're trading from. In different jurisdictions have different things. And here, before you click that buy button, you're able actually to use AvaProtect by clicking on AvaProtect, and you have a choice of the time of the coverage. So basically, what you do, we cannot call it insurance, but it works in a similar way. So the duration of time that you're choosing is actually covering you for the losses. It doesn't matter what the loss is. If you're still within the coverage, that loss will be covered. That means you will be reimbursed. You will see a credit into your account for that amount. So let's say you lost $200, and if you close that position within the coverage before it expired, you will see the loss of $200, and you will see the AvaProtect compensation of $200 added. And it costs you will always see it before you decide if it's good for you or not. You will see how much it costs you. And this is being deducted the moment you place the trade with AvaProtect. So if I want I want to have a coverage, depends on your style. If it's within an hour, you choose an hour. It goes up to 2 days, I think, right? And it also gives you all the information. If it's an hour, it's very simple. It's like 1 hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, 1 day. If it's a 1 day, it will be expiring tomorrow at 5 p.m. So you get a little bit more than a day time-wise. and you can choose 2 days. As you could see, the price of premium is changing. It depends on the duration of your coverage. So let's say if I'm buying a gold and I'd like to hold it for a day, so I'm choosing this, and it cost me 87.20, right? So of course I can put take profit and stop loss here. As you know, I'm not going to go into it because it's not part of the question. And after I set it up and this price is something that fits my needs or desires or money management, I go and buy. All right. Now take a look. Then I go back to my briefcase. Now I have 2 positions. As you know, one has been holding, right? So here I have a long position or buy position in gold, right? And it has all the information here, the open price. And again, I'm clicking on this thing over here, and you can always go back and remind yourself how much coverage you have, so it stays there, right? So this is something that is really cool, I believe. So it cost you this 87.76. You still have coverage of 26 hours. So one day, it depends what time of the day you open. It could be more than 24 hours. As now, we have extra time because we had the coverage for a day, and we open it before the 17 GMT, right? So we'll be expiring in 26 hours and 43 minutes, all right? You can change take profit, stop loss, but this is your coverage, all right? Now, what happens? There are a few scenarios. Let's say you're in the profit and you close, you got the profit, no loss, no compensation. It cost you this amount, right? So let's say you made $300 or $200. It cost you 87, so you made 113 or $213 because you did have an expense on premium. Now, the other scenario, you lost $300, so you get it back, and it's still the premium is being charged no matter what the outcome is, right? But the good thing about it that your risk or your out-of-pocket expense is predetermined. It doesn't matter how much you're going to lose on that trade, and that's the whole idea. You pay upfront the premium, and you cover it for whatever that loss could be. It's not really doesn't make a difference. You will be reimbursed for whatever the amount. Okay. So what happens when this time expires, and if you're still in the position, and if you are in the loss, that loss will be reimbursed. And if you choose to hold that position further, you're on your own. You don't have a coverage, right? But if you close within this with the loss, you also will be reimbursed. Okay. All right. So that's AvaProtect. Michael, what if your profit is $40? It's a good question. I'm continuing with Michael on the AvaProtect. If your profit is $40, that means it's not really a good trade for you because you made $40, but you paid 87. So overall, you lost about $47. That's why you need to choose the duration. You need to choose the size. It's all together. And I'll suggest if you want to go into your individual things, based on your account and everything else, your account manager will be happy to guide you with that. But of course, like I mentioned before, it has to make sense. That's why if you're looking to make a profit of $40, again, depends on the position. Maybe a shorter duration would be better for you. Again, it's impossible to say because you need to take into consideration a lot of aspects. So just going back to gold, if within an hour, it depends again, we're talking about the same size, so it's 10 ounce, for instance, right? So let's see, if gold is moving $10 on 10 ounce, your profit is $100, right? So, and it can move within an hour. It depends if there's any events happening, and I know a lot of people are using it for the events to protect themselves. But just to give you an idea, on the same size of 10 ounce, an hour will only cost you $28. So hypothetically, if you made $40 and you paid $28 in protection, You still made a little bit less than $12, which is not the best profit on this size, but it's still a profit. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on to the next question. I hope that worked. Again, I apologize if I mispronounce your names. Moinin is asking, what are the best trading months and the worst trading months? Good question. I don't think there's such a thing, but there's always statistics that talk about it. And from my 23 years of trading, I can tell you that there's no such a thing, the best month. December is a lot of moves because they're closing. Usually, the Wall Street guys are trying to close on the highs, so it's a lot of moves on December. But as far as the worst month, usually August considered to be the worst one. Why? Because it's the last month of the summer, a lot of vacation, and the last week of August is probably the slowest one. Again, it doesn't mean that it's bad, because some people prefer that when there's not a lot of volatility. But it depends. Like I said, it's all individual. Whatever could be worse for somebody else could be the best for another person. But I just share with you the few common things. Also, statistically, as far as S&Ps or US indices, September, statistically, the month that things are selling. There's a lot of things that are there. But again, if September is bad for investors, it doesn't mean it's bad for traders, because we can always make money by shorting the market, and sometimes it's even a better opportunity. Okay. All right, Monin. So that was the answer for you. Okay, Ronald is asking, what is a lot of stuff? Oh, sorry, there is a lot of stuff online sufficient enough to confuse FX trading beginners. What is your advice in this regard? Beautiful, beautiful question. You know, once on Facebook, you can see a lot of pop-ups. You know, make $1 million, make it 10,000, whatever it is. So there was a guy showing a short video. He's with Lamborghini, arriving in this beautiful villa, and there's a boat and other things, and he's like selling the dream. You know, you can be like me, just sign up for my class, whatever it is. So I wrote to him again. I don't like to judge people. You know, that's the way he's trying to make his money. But I wrote to him, please do not forget to return the car to the renter. Okay. I know a lot of great traders. I started on Wall Street in 2000, as I mentioned. I'm still in touch with some of them. They're not showing off. Some of them are teaching. They do have classes, but they don't show the Lamborghinis and houses and helicopters and other things. You know, they say if you have nothing to prove, you don't need to prove anything. So you need to do your due diligence. You need to see who is doing that presentation. You need to maybe try to speak with people in that group if they have any positive results. Yesterday, I got a personal message on Facebook from someone asking me if I benefited from a certain group that I follow, and we communicated with her. So maybe this is a good thing also, just to see what's good. But just from the experience, the best way of learning is really trading, but it doesn't mean that you need to be losing. This is the key point. So as you learn, because a lot of people are starting to trade and they learn as they go, but in the process they lose a lot of money. So by the time they start understanding things, or at least a little bit, they have no money to work with. So you have to be really, really disciplined. You need to know what you want. You need to set aside money dedicated for trading. You need to educate yourself. With AvaTrade, we have amazing tools here. We have account managers that will give you support. So you have all the tools, and don't rush into making millions, because all those promises are really worthless. I'll tell you the truth. You can't bypass things. You need to earn, and earning in trading is learning. Learning with losses and gains and everything else, but everything has to be proportional. Because when you lose a lot, you get disappointed, and then you get. I'll share with you my story. I share with my customers; they know it. I'm very open about it. When I came to trade in year 2000, in 3 months, I lost about $50,000, and the reason I did it because I thought I could do it. You know, I have degree in economics, and I'm not a stupid guy, and I was already quite mature by that time. So, and I came with that ego, and every day I would lose, and next day I would come trying to make it back. And that thing went for 3 months until I woke up and realized how much I lost. And then I asked one of the senior traders to help me, and it took me a few months to understand things and slowly rebuild it. So you have to really be realistic, definitely optimistic. You have to love trading. If you suffer in trading, you shouldn't be doing it, right? It has to be fun, and you have to see the results of your trading. If it's $1, $10, $100, you take out your profit and you buy your wife something nice, or your kids, or yourself. All right? Okay. So we'll keep on moving. Michael is asking, what do you recommend to do to be a profitable trader? YouTube videos or other resources? YouTube videos, again, you have to see whose YouTube's videos are those. You need to see people that know what they're talking about, and they have some proven track record. Someone that is a trader, not a marketer. There are a lot of people know how to sell themselves, but they have not really built a trader's reputation. You need to trade. You need to read a few books. I can recommend a few great books for you. One of the books that I used to read every year, Understanding the Markets, and it's a classic called Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. You can Google it. You can probably even find the PDF, free PDF online. It's available legally. There's a lot of things out there. Try, but definitely, as I always say, you can read 25 manuals how to drive a car, and you never leave your garage. You'll never be a good driver. So you need to drive. You get the theory, and you need to drive. You need to trade. You need to work out your strategies. You need to have your own style. It doesn't mean you need to copy someone, because it's very individual. I can tell you for sure. Trading is very individual. You need to find your style that fits your personality, your schedule, your lifestyle, whatever that is, right? Lily, I explained, maybe you came late. I explained already AvaProtect. You can watch it in the recording, and this will be posted on YouTube later on, right? You're welcome, Robert. On signals, on what time chart is it based? Good question. The signals being provided by the third party, which is they have a very good reputation. And again, I have this real account with no money here, because signals only showing on real accounts that are funded. Okay, so in general, these are the signals that give you information as far as the approximate, first of all, direction. They recommend the sell here, and it gives you, if you click here on this signal, this way is on S&P 500, it gives you the 3 levels of resistance, 3 levels of support. It depends which way you're going to take it. You have a take profit, stop loss, and so on. And you need to decide if it really works for you. Again, you need to decide your own time frame. You need to decide your own size, your own level. Because for someone, let's say if you have a stop loss at this level, let's say if you bought it, right, for instance, even though, okay, let's follow, it's a sell signal. So if you sold here at the current price, if you decide to do it 292, your stop loss is 43.15. So it's about 15 plus 8, it's about 23 points per contract. So you need to see if it really works for you. and you need to adjust your size of the position. A small account, $23 loss on, I don't know, $200 account is 10% loss. On a $2,300 account, it's a 1% loss, so it's more acceptable and so on. So you need to see if it works, right, for you. Okay, wonderful. Lily is asking, how will we know when there's an important event coming up? Beautiful question. So here you see, if you go here on this globe sign or icon, you click on economic calendar, and you can also see it on your app. And I mean, it's not a secret that you're welcome, Peter. It's not a secret that only AvaTrade knows. These things are being posted on a lot of websites. So you will see, here it is, it just takes a little longer. So you can click on specific day, or you can just scroll through it, and you will see the time, okay, and the importance. You see right here, the medium or high, as you could see, for instance, the main event for this week is tomorrow, NFP, the non-farm payroll. So if I click on Friday, because I know it, if you don't, you just scroll it, that's fine. But I know that on Friday afternoon, there's something that really important is happening. Also, you can choose the impact. So I just want to see the high impact, for instance. So you see, I have tomorrow at 3:30. Whatever time, you need to choose what time you're using, and it's a non-farm payroll, and you see the previous forecast and the actual. So the previous one was 187 jobs were added. This is one of the main announcements. It happens on the first Friday of the month, usually. Sometimes there are exceptions, but usually that's what it is. So the last number was here. The expectation is for 150,000. And of course, the actual will be known at the time of the announcement. So it's easy, right? You click on that. Also, when you click on the event itself, it actually explains to you what it is. And if you click read more, it gives you more information. And then you can see also the chart, how it was. My colleague Troy is doing his webinars. They call fundamental analysis. He explains these things, how traders are actually using this historical data, kind of trying to predict the upcoming event. See? You see how things were moving and so on. A lot of information. It's really, really cool. All right. So this is how you look. You look at the economic calendar, right? All right, that was for Lily. Do Ava have professionals that will mentor someone? We do have senior account managers as myself with different levels of experience. You can request a senior account manager. There's a certain requirement. You need to have certain money on the account. And yes, about mentoring, it's not really mentoring because we're not charging. You know, the mentors, they charge a lot of money. You know, I mentor people sometimes. I used to mentor them actively when I didn't have a full-time job. So it's a lot of effort to do it. So we can't really tell mentor, because that would assume that we really work with you one-on-one on a regular basis and so on. But to some extent, definitely you get help of professionals. And definitely for beginners, we do have sources of resources to help you to build your skills step by step. Okay. Peter is asking, what is the best way to trade new events? Like I said, here you can, for instance, you take non-farm payroll and you check volatility and you see historically what happened at certain events. See right here, 58% ended bullish, 42% ended bearish. You can analyze these things, what works for you. But as far as what to do at the event, it's like I said, everybody has their own style. You should have your own style. I'll give you an example. Some traders like to have their own opinion into the event and establish some trades. And with the announcement, they actually get out with profits, or if they're wrong, with the losses, right? So it's something that traders like to call you buy the rumors, you sell the news. Some other traders don't do anything until, as they say, a dust settled or mud settled, until the volatility. Because if you trade it for a while, you watch the events, you could see a lot of spikes up and down. And then when the market finally chooses direction, that other traders are entering only then, right? I also know traders that trade specifically, they just jump into that storm and they ride that volatility up and down within the first minute, 5 minute, 10 minute scalper, like super fast scalper. So it's all individual. There's no the best way. It depends on your skills, on your speed of execution, physically with your fingers, right? Or mouse or whatever it is. It depends on a lot of factors, right? If you're a swing trader, you're just going to choose and hold it for a few days, few weeks, or whatever it is. If you're a scalper, you're going to jump right into it, but you have to be really quick to get out, both with profits or losses. All right. So I wouldn't really. I wouldn't be able to say what's the best because it doesn't exist. Like I said before, it's very individual. What could be best for me could be the worst for you, and vice versa. All right, guys, we're doing great. We're about 36 minutes into the webinar, and I'll be happy to address more questions. Oh, okay. I actually have some. I missed Michael's question. What is your preferable strategy and indicators? It's a secret. No, I'll be honest with you. You know, through 23 years, I used so many indicators. I also built some robots with the help of programmers, and I implemented it. For some years, it worked. For others, it didn't. I went through a lot of indicators and combinations of them. It's all good. You have to experience. You have to experiment what works for you, and so on. But in the end of the day, I came to back to basis when I just look for support and resistance, and my experience, again, I'm not trying to show off, but my experience is helping me to realize what the price action is doing. Sometimes I don't have any indicators. I just watch how the market dances, and I dance with it. I know it's a little bit hard for inexperienced people to realize, but I come from old school. When I started to trade, we didn't really have much indicators. We were just trading for first 11 years. I mean, later on, it was already a little bit more advanced, but we just had level 2 for this. We only traded stocks the first few years that I started to trade, and we just saw level 2. We saw price action. That means the tape, the trades that went through the tape, and we had a setup that between me and my neighbor Pete was his name. We just had a small monitor. So I had one monitor I traded on. He had one monitor he traded on. It were only short keys, no mouse. Mouse we just used for setting up. And between us was a smaller monitor. You just show a line chart of S&P. So just to give you an idea, for technicals, we use something like this. The chart looked like this exactly. So this was our thing. I think it was a tick chart. It looked like this, just for us to get an idea which way the market is going. All right. So why am I telling you this? I come from old school, really watching the dynamics of the market, see the price action. But we saw the price action in markets. In numbers. The quotes. When I started, actually, the price was quoted in fractures, like 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 1 1/2, before it was quoted in decimals. So decimals made my life easier. All right. So again, I like technical analysis. I love it. Sometimes I use indicators, but I like to really see what market is doing. Right. So that's just an honest answer from me to the honest question of yours. All right. So okay. The question of Moinin, when you have two AvaTrade accounts, can you transfer money between those accounts? Absolutely. If you're not from Canada, because we do have Canadian customers, we're still working on it. Most of the regulations, you can do it yourself. You just go to avatrade.com and you choose internal transfer, and you choose from which account to which account, and you choose the amount. You can choose to transfer all available funds. If you don't have any trades open, you can just the whole amount. If you have trades open, partial amount, whatever it's available, and yeah, you can do it freely. And again, if it's not available in your jurisdiction, then it's very easy. You just have to send an email to CS at AvaTrade and specify that you need to do internal transfer from account XYZ to account ABC and the amount. Very easy. Good question. Michael is asking, do you have an opinion on the Ichimoku Cloud? Is it useful? I do not have. I know it exists. I know a lot of people are using it. I know it comes from Japan, and I've heard some great stories of people using it. I personally never used it, so I can't say any good or bad on my personal experience because I don't have any. Yes, Monin, if you're from UK, you should be able. It's easy. If you have two accounts or multiple accounts, you can freely move between the accounts, all right? And if there are issues, ask customer support. But normally, if you have funds available, it shouldn't be any issues, and it's done within a few seconds. When you go into that part where you do it, you just choose, it gives you a drop-down menu, I think. You choose the from account and to account, and you choose the amount, and you press OK or whatever the button is there, and it's done, right? Okay, good questions, guys. Do we have any more? Anybody? We have a very nice group of people here, active. You scared me in the beginning a little bit, but then we were pretty much going well. Okay. Ronald is asking, what is your take on AvaSocial copy trading? Is it only for beginners or for any traders who chooses to do? Like in anything else, I've heard some good stories. Also, I saw people lost money, but it's very hard to say if they lost money because of the provider or they lost money because they didn't set it up right. So you can try it. You can practice on it and see if it works for you. That's the only thing I can tell you. Is it for beginners or any trader can do it? But here comes the question. You know, if experienced traders with a good track record wouldn't probably go into it. If something works for you, why to look for something else? Or if they found someone with a good strategy, providing a good strategy, they could try it, absolutely. Also, so that's AvaSocial. Again, it's not available everywhere. The few jurisdictions it's not available at. Also, we do have other things. Some people are using also connecting through Zulu. Some people connecting to DupliTrade would also offer those services. So speak with your personal account manager and see what works for you or what's available for you. Okay. Peter is asking. What pair will you recommend for beginners? I can't really recommend, but if you read books or go to chats, anything else, everybody's talking about major pairs because they mostly common and they're trading the most. And if you take the volume or the amount of trades that go through. I think most of it's euro dollar. So it could be that euro dollar is the most common. So it could be that it would fit the beginners because it always has liquidity, it has a tight spread. And some traders, again, I don't recommend one or another, but I know a lot of traders use that pair because it's kind of a common recommendation from all the sources for the forex. So that could be one, but definitely you want to choose maybe to start with you're not going to jump into Mexican peso or Turkish lira with a huge spread and total zero. You're not able to predict things or analyze because those things can move in huge distances. I don't know if we can use that terminology, but yeah, you have euro dollar, you have Aussie dollar, you have New Zealand dollar, you have pound dollar, you have dollar yen. Those are the key, or also USD CAD, the Canadian dollar. Those are the majors that people like to trade because there's always enough liquidity and less slippages and gaps, unless it's a huge event or surprise like we had a few days ago when Japanese yen jumped within 1 minute, it jumped 2%. They still don't know what it was. Some say it was intervention by Bank of Japan. All right, so that's the answer. Can you trade more than one symbol at the time? I'm not sure the question because, sorry for my sarcasm, but the science proving that you can't have two thoughts at the same time. You're welcome, Peter. So I don't know what you mean by the same time. Again, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but it could be if you have two parallel computers and you set up two things. But in general, you can trade as much as you'd like. It's not going to be at the same time. Let's say if you open one trade, you can open after that another one. Let's say if you open gold, you can open dollar index or another pair or another commodity or anything else. Of course, as long as you know what you're doing and as long as you have enough funds to do it. Absolutely. You trade multiple, some people trade 20 different things. But again, I have to be honest with you, and I speak from my heart. If you are a beginner, try to limit your spectrum of instruments to minimum. Yes, Lily, of course. Gold and silver you could trade. But again, as I said, if you're a beginner, you probably don't want to trade 20 instruments because as you learn, it's better to focus on the fewer instruments so you understand the idea. And as your experience expands and your results improves, then you can apply your knowledge into expanding into other instruments as well. But definitely, good question, Lily. You can trade gold and silver, not a problem. Also, they move in kind of in a similar direction. Not always exactly, but they all are the same group of precious metals. You're very welcome, Lily. Okay. We're doing great. We're about finishing an hour. Maybe we'll have another question. I'll be happy to. What moving average do you recommend crossing over? Good question. Actually, I have things set up here. This is the MT4 platform. You can set up the same thing on WebTrader, I believe, but I have this ready here. So classical technical analysis of moving average. You have here I have the 50 moving average. I mean, you can choose the colors, you can customize it, but three major ones. If you take, especially in the daily chart, the classic technical analysis, 50, 100, and 200, right? So this is how to use it. There's different ways, but I just share with you something that's very common, and I'm going to bring in gold. I spoke about it on one of my webinars here. You see, certain crosses, especially the classic one, is the 50 moving average crossing below 200 moving average. Now, analysts call it a dead cross, and it kind of gives a signal for selling. Again, nothing works 100%, but in this case, I actually spoke about it, and I said we might see the selling without going into fundamentals or anything. And take a look, we just had a huge selling. So sometimes it works well, other times it doesn't really work that well. So here you have 50 moving below 200 called the dead cross, and let me remember what had the opposite, probably dollar. Yeah, dollar as it moves the opposite direction of gold, at least recently. So here you have something they call golden cross when the 50 moves above the 200 moving average, and that triggers an opinion. All right, it doesn't always work, but those analysts on TV like to use it. At least they used to like to use it as a signal. In this case, a golden cross is a buy signal, and the dead cross is the sell signal. All right. So these are the things that commonly used. There's so many combinations of. Some people use intraday trading with a 9. Again, these are simple moving averages. You have exponentials. You have other things. There's so many of them. So you can see. And again, if you do choose, nothing wrong with indicators, even though some people say they're lagging indicators, which I agree with. Indicator is just a reflection on the price. So the price already moved. That's why the indicator is showing something, right? So again, I'm not saying that they're not useful. They are useful if you apply them in addition to price action or anything else that you use, or fundamentals, whatever it is. But if you choose to use any kind of technical analysis based on indicators, so if you choose, let's say somebody recommended something and they have a good results, take that thing and try to really see if it works. Don't mix it with other things. This is the big mistake. I had a customer years ago that I met personally with, and he showed me his laptop, and he had so many indicators that I couldn't really see the candles or the bars or whatever he was using. I said, how can you trade it? So don't overdo it. Like everything else, you take the tool, you see if it works for you. If it works, stick to it. If it doesn't, move on, right? Robert, I'm not going to go into this simple and exponential. You can Google it. It's all the calculation with the formulas, with the math, and they take highs and lows and other things. It's complicated. Even if I wanted, I wouldn't be able to give you a real explanation. And I don't like to do partial ones. So you'll be happy to find these calculations. Just Google it. There's so many information there. All right. Okay, guys. I think we're doing good, and I think we did good. I want to thank everyone for participating. And again, I was substituting for Danny. He should be back next week, I believe, and continue this amazing work. We do have a lot of webinars you can visit. I personally do webinars on the weekend. They're called a weekly market plan or weekly trading plan, and also do one on Wednesdays when we have a round table discussion on specific instruments where people, here you come ask all these general questions. On my webinars on Wednesday, people ask questions about specific instruments, gold, oil, anything that's tradable, we'll discuss it together. So you're more than welcome to attend. And again, thank you all. Have an amazing week. We have NFPs coming on Friday, which is tomorrow. And prepare yourself. Any questions, address to your account managers. If you're new, you don't have an account, feel free to log into avatrade.com, open an account. You can start from demo, you can start from real, whatever you'd like. And also, these are the channels, just to remind you. You have Telegram, you have Twitter, YouTube channel. Lily, you were asking, just to go back, you were asking about using the AvaProtect. I spoke about it. You can also find it on the educational part of our website, and also on YouTube. You can just go to AvaTrade channel and just in search type AvaProtect. There are a few tutorials there as well. All right. Thank you all. Have an amazing day or afternoon or evening. and all the best.